Welcome back, everyone, to our Let's Play series of Motorsport Manager. So one of the things that I try to keep track of along the way is the team stats across the top of the screen. We have been down at the very bottom on our car for so long, and you can see we're starting to move up ever so slightly, and we're getting ever closer to that middle of the grid. And once we're there, we're in good shape. Now, you notice our drivers are definitely not that good. However, you have to keep in mind, car number 2 has horrendous drivers. They are carryover drivers and meant to be temp drivers. So that skews this somewhat. Our HQ, this is a huge thing. Even after the upgrade we did to the factory and the 2 new buildings that we've built, we're still way behind. So that just lets you know where we started. We started competing a couple of seasons ago against teams with much better HQs, much better cars, and much better drivers. And we're slowly working our way up through the field and getting better and better finishes. Let's work our way through our wonderful emails. We didn't have any mistakes last time, so that was good. I like to see that. We'll work on the speed of the pit crew at some point when I decide to take that off of auto and take another look at it. But for now, I am happy that we did not have any issues on pit road. All right, so which of your cars has the better drivers? How many times have we seen this question? I mean, we need some new questions in here. All right, so our car, we have 3 to 4 days before the new parts are complete. But of course, first things first, we get to take a look at what we've done. So in our last video, we set up reliability work for these 3 pieces on car 1. Okay, so that's what we did, and try to get it as best we can before our new part is complete, and then we start working on that. Oh, we got mechanics complaining. Let's see what they're complaining about. So we've heard some rumblings that they're not happy working in the factory. All right. So be it. So what should I tell them? We are not going to give them a bonus. That's not how life works. All right, so I'm just going to say deal with it. We're not paying them $500,000 because they're complaining. That is not how we're doing business. Okay, we picked up a couple of percent there. And we should get a little bit more as our new part is ready to go. So let's see. Okay, we're up to 85. Excellent. And let's see. We did another suspension, so now we're up to... let's go ahead and take that one out, add this one, and we're going to add it over... That's just for fun. How long would that take? Okay, it'd be done 13 days before the race. Gotcha. All right, so this one's going to be done 10 days before the race. Oh, boy, do I like to see that. Which means it is going to be usable. And in fact, I may just let it roll over and work on performance after that. Yeah, I may just do that. All right, so now we're ready to get back to some more part development. Let's head back over to... Well, let's see what we can do on the suspension. I've forgotten exactly how much more there is to be had on that. So 195 or 211 max. Let's see. I tell you what. Let's see. Where are we? Yeah, we're definitely not catching up. We're way behind. So what do we have there? All right. If we want to use it, if we want to use this new part, yeah, this is just no good. This is not what we were hoping for. So we really needed to open up this slot. And I could have sworn that we had. Yeah, we had. Okay, but I tell you what. If I go in and pick... So it looks like we're going to be moving toward next season on these parts. This would be pretty good, but I'll tell you what. Let's go back to the gearbox. So 222, 235. Let's see what we've got there. And let's see, where do we want to go? Plus 20 and plus 40. Okay, that would be really good. But let's look at what options we have for our third iteration. And we've got a plus 60, because remember, gearbox, we built tier 1 there, so we can have access to these great components. That'd be a plus 60. Of course, the risk level, again, we're not worried about that, because we'd be looking forward to the next season with this part. So the plus 60 is awesome. And yeah, I think that is where we would want to be. So let's go ahead with this one. And this will be the last part we'll use for this season. So yeah, 275, if we can get it to that, will be pretty awesome. Okay, so a nice little jump even from where we are right now. Okay, so we're going to let the new suspension get worked on. And then what I may do, until this new part gets developed and finished, I may let it roll over into the performance. So we got a performance of 4 here, which is obviously not good, and 6 here. All right, so I'll have to swap out, do a little bit of swapping out. Okay, now it looks like we got another vote coming up soon. Our new part is done in 15 days, so it's going to correspond pretty close to where we're going to be for the next race. So, all right, we're doing great. Here, 10 more days, and we're good to go. All right, I like it. Let's take a look at this vote. So this is going to be points for the top 8. Of course, this won't be in effect until next season. Right now, we're on points for the top 5. Last year, or 2 years ago, rather, it was points for the top 10. So now they're sort of going somewhere in the middle. So the question for us is, does it do more for us if we decide to vote for this? Can we get that second car up there? Right now, I'm just not all that interested in doing it because I'm building for the future with these HQ buildings and so on. But right now, I think I'm going to vote for it, but I'm not going to put a huge amount of voting power for it. So let's just go ahead and just do the +1. And okay, it gets approved. So that's going to get a few more points allotted in next season. I like that. And it's also going to give us some decisions to make about car number 2. All right, let's move on. Okay, reliability work is almost done. But again, that means 100%. Okay, so we've let that go as long as we can. Okay, I think what I want to do is swap these guys out. Okay, really didn't make much of any difference. How about that? But that will allow these new parts to go ahead and be as good as they possibly can be, because you can say it says 2 days before the race, which is awesome. So that's going to be some nice performance improvements, particularly here on the suspension. I'm going to like that a lot going into our next race. So here you can see performance work is almost done. We got a birthday. All right, wow, this is hard to believe. So when we get an email that says we've snagged some of the most lucrative sponsorship deals around in Class B and that other teams are struggling to compete with us, let's keep it up. That's hard for me to believe because we're not getting that much money off of sponsorship. Meaning that if we come and take a look at our sponsors, I mean, our marketability is extremely low. So everything we have is a 1-star sponsor. Hard for me to believe that some of these teams don't have at least 2-star sponsors to deal with. And it doesn't correlate with what we see on this screen, so I'm not sure how all this is supposed to be lining up. So we'll just sort of take that at face value. All right, we've got a birthday. We will not be spending $100 grand, because we're not worried about driver morale. It's been doing great for a long time. Okay, our car almost fully ready to go. There you can see performance work is done. That means that the staff is going to be idle and just in time to work on the new gearbox. So let's go ahead and set this up. Our new gearbox, we want to put it in both of these areas, but of course most important will be reliability. This is a part that we can use for this season, so that is awesome. And it's going to give us a nice 40-point increase once it's ready. Okay, I like it quite a bit. Let's see what we've got for brakes. So we're at 305 right now on our best brakes. And let's see. Wow, nothing really to choose from here. Let's see what's going to open up under the good section. Remember, we're also going to have access to the third tier as well. All right, I like this plus 30. Okay, so yeah, we're just not going to get a whole lot here on this first time through. Now, we could go with the red zone at minus 10. I mean, that's helpful, but we're after performance right now more than anything. So let's just get this first build out of the way. Okay, make sure everything is where I want it to be here. Okay, looks good. And it is time to get ready for our next race. Okay, 5th or above, once again. And here you can see we're going to be spending less, or losing less, on this particular trip. Always nice. Those traveling expenses are never quite the same from week to week. Okay, now, parts. Let's take a look and make sure that we're getting... we could do the autofill, but... All right, 29%, we're not quite ready to do that. But we do want to make sure that both of these cars have the best. Okay, there we go. And then we'll move everybody up there. So we got to move some suspension components around, and a very nice improvement for car number 1, both in terms of reliability and performance. So I like that a lot, as a matter of fact. And just make sure, with all these new parts in there, it's easy for me to get lost in what we're doing. Okay, but I think we are ready to head to the racetrack. All right, practice and qualifying now out of the way. Our knowledge bonuses are what we've come to expect. I did manage to get to a level 2 here as well, so that's always nice when we can get that extra little bonus. The car setup, I would love to actually be able to use the medium tire here, because that would give us the hour stint that we're looking for, but unfortunately the max fuel of 41 laps, it lines up almost exactly with the soft tire. So we're going to go with it and use it for what it is, and we're going to push as hard as we possibly can as well. We're going to start off with the engine mode on high, but this track is very hard on engines, so I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do that for the entire length of the race. But that's part of the fun, is finding out. As always, the plan is to push as much as we can and within realistic setup. So you can see most everybody is on the medium tire. I am choosing to be a little bit different here. And we're going to see what kind of stint we can get out of these softer tires. So qualifying was pretty interesting. We had weather, as seems to happen a lot, right in the center of it, but we did manage to get a couple laps on the dry tires, one for each of our 2 drivers in each car. So qualifying went pretty good. That's about where I would expect us to start. All right, let's go ahead and push a little bit. Again, not going to be pushing a whole lot, but we're going to try to push a little bit here and there. Again, our goal, our minimum goal for driving time is going to be 45 minutes here. So if we can have this stint last at least 45 minutes, that would be awesome. But if it can't, then we'll have to make some adjustments. Okay, that's enough pushing. Because based on what information they told me in the garage about these different tires, I don't know that we can get by with a whole lot of pushing here with the soft tires. And I'm hoping we can get a little bit of extra speed out of using these instead of the mediums. But as you can see, right now it's not lining up that way. This is looking like one of those races where our car just does not line up with this track. So we'll have to see as the race goes on if we can make up some positions and be in a similar sort of spot as where we were last race, where we were able to get solidly into the points and even ultimately get on the podium. So right now we're still within range. We're within range of the group that we're realistically competing against, which is roughly 4th on back. All right, but yeah, the extra speed is just not showing up here. Let's take a look at our lap times. And lap times aren't bad at all here, but again, we just need to be consistent with those lap times being faster than those around us. Okay, so we're right in the thick of things. We are coming up on 30 minutes into the stint. Tire wear is looking pretty good. All right, let's push a little bit more. Push maybe for a lap or two. Be nice if we could get by this 19th place car, but so far we are not having any luck doing that. Okay, we'll back off once again here. Oh, we finally got by them. There we go. Now, if we can use this clean track to really lay down some good laps, that would be awesome. So you can see we pulled away from 20th position once we finally got by them. All right, so now we should be able to make up a little bit of time. You can see our lap times are definitely good. This is what you would hope for whenever you put on the soft tires as opposed to the medium tires. A little bit more grip, a little bit more speed. Yeah, we're definitely showing the speed now that we need to be showing on these tires. So now it's going to be a matter of managing. We need to get to a minimum of 45 minutes. It'd be nice to get a little bit farther than that. And it looks like we're going to make it. We're going to be, yeah, we're at 41 minutes now. We're right at 30% wear on the tires. So this is looking good. Keeping an eye on the fuel as well. Okay, we're right on the back of points paying positions. Because we are only, well, we're less than a second now behind 17th. You can now see them on the screen. So fuel is running down pretty much in accordance with the tires. All right, let's go ahead and queue up our first pit stop. Don't want to run these soft tires too low. And let's see, once again, the expected form, we're going to go with our third driver next. And we're going to give her soft tires. And hopefully this works out. So 5 fewer, and she's not going to be able to run quite as long. So I'd say, well, we'll keep that fuel in there. That shouldn't be too terribly bad. I'll give her a little bit of extra fuel just in case the tire wear gets a little better. All right, so first things first, let's get car 1 completed in the pits. So far, so good. Okay, and we're off and running. Excellent. That's what I want to see. Now it's time to queue up pit stop for car number 2. And let's continue on medium tires, and we'll just keep filling it up every time. Okay, so you can see we're up to 19th even after our first pit stop, so we're still within range here. And we've got a little bit of clear track. Again, if you look at the mini map in the top right, you can see we're not in a huge bunch of traffic right now, so we can run some good lap times. We're now 1 spot out of the points and running some good laps compared to those around us. We'll see how that compares going forward. Ooh, we got somebody behind us on super soft, so they should be running blazingly fast. But those tires shouldn't last very long either. All right, I'm liking what I'm seeing from the lap times. They're about what I would expect. So I'm good. We're looking at the gap. Again, we've got somebody coming up behind us that's really fast. But looking at the gap, we're not all that far off of fourth position. So long term, that's kind of what I'm looking at. If we can get to fourth, I consider that to be a really good race. And of course, any higher than that is awesome for us at this point. Okay, so I'm not pushing very much at all on this set of tires. That's not the plan, because a little less stamina for this driver, and I'm hoping to again get at least 45 minutes of drive time for her, and then we'll move on, because we're going to have to do 3 stops in this particular race as things are lining up. So 45 minutes is sort of our standard if we're going to run that type of a race. All right, so we're 20 minutes in. Everything is looking really nice actually here. Let's take another quick look at lap times. And again, not bad. We're in the neighborhood. And we're managing so far to keep those super soft tires behind us, which is huge, because they're wearing out their tires quite a bit. And you can see they don't have much tire left. So even if when they manage to get by us here, if they manage to get by us, they're going to have to be in for a pit stop very soon. All right, there you go. So they got by us, but not for long. We'll look at them take off once they get by. All right, there's their pit stop, so that moves us right back up to where we want to be. And now we're within about a second and a half, couple of seconds of a points paying position. Now we're going to have to be pretty speedy here, because these guys, I don't think they're going to make it on 2 pit stops. I don't think their fuel will last, for one thing. But just in case they are, this is going to be tricky for us trying to use the softer tire. Still think it's the best idea for us though. Plus it's more fun when you can have the car go faster. Alright, yeah, about a half second faster. A little bit more. Okay, so we're now coming up on 40 minutes and the car tire is definitely wearing down. But I think we're going to get right at that 45-minute mark that we were looking for. But of course it took us not pushing the tires in order to get there. Let's take a quick look at the engine condition. We're still at 51%. Not bad. A little bit lower than I might have preferred, but I think we're going to be okay to keep pushing. Alright, so we just moved up into the points paying position. And very nice. Very nice. I'm liking our pace here. Alright, so let's go ahead and set up our next pit stop. And we're going to put in Lee, who hopefully can do a good stint for us. Now, we don't need him to go, you know, an hour or so, because we got 1:22 left. So we're sticking with the program of roughly 45-minute stints. Alright, so that would give us, that's going to be about, let's see, 35. And yeah, that's going to be pretty good on fuel. Again, giving him a little bit more fuel, just in case he's able to go a little bit longer, but because I don't want to run him out of fuel. Alright, everything on the pit stop so far looks good. No mistakes. I like it. That's the main thing. No mistakes. Alright, so we drop back a little bit, but we got pit stops that are going to be starting. And we'll see how it all turns out once everybody cycles through another pit stop. So again, you can see these guys that have made 2 stops are not going to be able to make it to the end. Let's go ahead and get car number 2 going on their next pit stop. All right, some nice empty track. You always like clear track in front of you. All right, I'm liking what I'm seeing on our gaps. Looking pretty good. You know, we're about 10 seconds out, but then, of course, well, pit stops are already happening. And we've shown that we've got some pretty good speed on this soft tire when compared to the other cars on the medium tire. So our chances are looking pretty good to get ourselves into the points. Let's another glance at the lap times. Wow, that was definitely not a good lap. Much slower than we need to be there. All right, now we're back down into the 28s. And, okay, again, in the ballpark, we're not setting any blazingly fast pace compared to those around us, but now we go, there we go, 27s is where we need to stay. Just doesn't appear that we can get down there for very long. Okay, we've caught 17th position, which is the first points paying position. So if we can get there, that'll be really good. And of course, it also gets us into our sponsorship objective, which always helps on the money side of things. Wow, this is a nice fight with 17th here. So 5th position, they don't want to give it up. But again, we're not in a whole lot of traffic looking at the mini-map. This is not bad. Everybody's sort of spread out a little bit around the track. Of course, you got the Class A cars that are going to be, you know, moving around you pretty quickly once they get to you, so you don't worry a whole lot about them. But we are managing to stick right with 5th position. And, well, 4th position as it is right now. But again, things are very fluid and change. Lost my cursor there for a moment. So once again, you can see the clear divide between the middle of the pack and the faster cars. Okay, tires starting to get worn down. We're only 36 minutes into the stint here. He is not very good on tires. So we're going to have to be making another pit stop. And let's see, where are we on stamina? Okay, Petra, let's see, she's got 49 minutes that she can be in the car. That's perfect. And so she will be the next one in the car. Let's go ahead and line that up. Put her back in. That does not look good for expected form. But she's going to have to be what it is. Fuel options, let's see, about... I don't want to go too much less, so we're going to go 36 and just let that ride. Definitely do not want her running out at the end. So we got the driver swap that is happening. Tires getting changed. Everything looks good so far. Okay, no errors. I like it. I'm liking this auto manage, because as long as we don't get any mistakes, that's a step in the right direction. All right, so now we need to make our final pit stop, hopefully final pit stop for car number 2. And once again, we just quickly get them out of the way. All right, so the third pit stops will be happening. Right now it looks terrible for us back in 22nd, but I think this is all going to work out pretty good for us as everybody filters through their pit stops. At least that's the hope. All right, so let's go ahead and press a little bit when we get some open track here. We can get some good lap times. Let those A cars come on through. Petra's a little bit better on tires, so I should be able to push a little bit more with her during this stint. Okay, we got parts conditions on car number 2, but we're not going to worry about those. Because again, if they manage to have to retire, then that is no problem for us. They're not going to get any points anyway. Okay, again, just keeping an eye out for pit stops and seeing how this all rotates. Okay, let's hop back on it a little bit while she's fired up and let her push a little bit. Okay, up to 20th position now, and 19th has not made their final pit stop. I don't think they've got enough tire to make it to the end. Okay, saw the message, engine is low. Let's see what that is. We're at 27. Okay, I think we're going to be fine there to make it to the end. Okay, fuel looks good. Tires look good as well. All right, we've reached 17th position, and okay, they're coming into the pits anyway. Now we've moved up. We've got a whole lot going on the track, and we've managed to work our way into the points for the time being. But you can see, once again, those ultra soft tires, no, excuse me, super soft tires, not ultras. Those super soft tires will be coming in a hurry. So we're also right here with 4th position, now 3rd position. All right, so we're looking good for, let's see, nope, they've got fresh tires. They're going to be coming hard on us. So yeah, 3rd position was brief, and we'll take it when we can get it. But yeah, we're not going to be able to hang with those guys. All right, let's go ahead and push. Final 8 minutes. We've got plenty of tire to do so, so we're going to give it everything we've got, even though our chances of catching them in 3rd place are pretty much 0 at this point. But what I'm most happy about is our strategy once again worked out, and we are looking in good shape for a points paying position. Okay, parts are definitely low, but we're 2 minutes in. All right, now we are up into 3rd. We got retirements. Okay, so we did have some parts issues. All right, so our work in the factory is paying off. That extra reliability is definitely helping out. All right, so with the race coming to an end, there we go. We come home with yet another podium. 2 podiums in a row, and I like the momentum that we are bringing to the table right now. This is awesome. This is what you look for. And of course, we still have a lot of improvement to do on the HQ, on the car parts themselves, and of course with the drivers themselves. So there's a lot of improvement yet to go, and yet we are finding our way with realistic shots at not only points paying positions, but if things go our way, getting on that podium. So we will take that. So 4 more points for us, and in the team standings, which is what's more important, we're trying to, you can see here, Russian Oil has gotten no points. So we're looking good there, and of course every position that we can improve upon going forward, that's more money at the end of the season. So it just, success builds on itself in this game. And you can see here, we're only 1 point out of 3rd. So there's a lot going on in the middle of the pack. And if we can continue to work with this, we are going to be in great shape moving forward. All right, let's take a look at driver morale, performance, all that sorts of thing. Again, driver form not looking all that good for most of the drivers. 8.1 not bad, but 2.6 is definitely not good. But driver morale sticks at 100% as is normal. We came in 4th this time. Unfortunately, our marketability doesn't really increase enough to be noticeable. Car number 2 we're not going to worry about. And we lost, once again, right at $1 million. So we've got plenty of money left as long as I don't get too crazy overboard with developing new parts, which I am extremely likely to do. All right, here we are back at our main menu screen. So I am, once again, very pleased with the results in that race. I had a lot of fun using the different tire, mixing up the tires a little bit, and getting the most speed we could out of the car. Very happy with the result. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned for more of our Let's Play series of Motorsport Manager.